If you have drinking problems, I prepare for your son. I got 99 problems, but the meat ain't one.
Hey, welcome to Choo. My name is Jacob and I am a professional hot sauce maker and avid home brewer. I really like fruit wines and mead. So I love spice, I love mead, and I thought, why not combine the two? This is what's known as a capsicumel or capsicumel, however you say that word, named after capsaicin, the chemical responsible for the heating effects of chilies. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to make a chili mead using one of my all-time favorite chilies, which I'll also talk a little bit about in this video because it is a very special type of chili, and that's what we use to make this little concoction. So my thirsty little mead heads, let's make some spicy mead. So first, let's go back in time and I'll talk a little bit about my favorite chili, or one of my favorite chilies, the yellow ricotta. So the ricotta, or manzano pepper, is one of my all-time favorite chilies because it's just very special and unique and quite unlike any other variety. Why I like this pepper so much is it's not heaps hot. It can be 30 to 100,000, which is hot but not crazy hot. It's one of the least evolved peppers of all time, and it is one of the oldest varieties that still remains today. So this has been relatively unchanged, unevolved for about 6,000 years. It has furry leaves, hence the name pubensis, like pubes. Unlike other chili varieties, this guy can live to up to 15 years, right? In the right conditions, which gives it like a woody branches, woody stems, which is why it gets the nickname the tree pepper, because that kind of resembles a tree. They can get quite tall as well, not unlike a small shrub or small tree. The yellow variety is my favorite because it's the biggest and the chunkiest, and they just look really cool. They're so delicious, so fruity, really sweet, which is why I'm going to try to make a mead out of this. When you bite into this, it's like biting into a piece of history, because you can imagine an ancient Central American, all chili varieties come from Central and South America. An ancient Central America 6,000 years ago would be eating more or less the exact same fruit as I'm growing right here today. And like I mentioned, that's pretty uncommon in any sorts of food, other than animals, I guess. Plants evolve a lot quicker, especially fruits and vegetables, than animals do. So as far as plants go, this is one of the oldest unchanged fruits available on Earth, which is pretty cool. Well, at least within the pepper varieties. One more quick fun fact, these are very cold tolerant. They're not frost tolerant, which is why I've got them in my polytunnel, but they are cold tolerant, which makes them perfect for growing here in the Adelaide Hills in South Australia. We get really cold, it gets to -degrees, we get frost. I've been in this house for 6 years, it snowed once, so we do technically get snow, it's not common though. So a lot of varieties of chilies, like some of my favorites, like scorpions for example, or ghost peppers, they prefer sort of subtropical environments, so nice and humid, not too humid but not heaps dry, and they definitely don't like the cold. It gets really cold here in the Adelaide Hills. I have a cold tolerant variety of chili, and as you can see right now at the time of recording, we're in the middle of winter, bloody freezing, and this thing still has fruit on it. They won't ripen up, they're long past due picking, so I'm going to pick them. It'll drop all its leaves, but in spring this will bounce back. But as you can see, look at this crazy amounts of fruit on here, quite large still. I have pretty big hands, and this, look at that. It's about the size of a pool ball, which is really crazy. It's one of the biggest varieties of peppers around, and anyway, as you can tell, I love them. Well, that was a lot of fun, wasn't it, kids? Now it's time for the adult stuff. Motherfucking mead making time. Of course, accompanied by a terrible little song arranged, performed, and recorded by shitty old me. Let's do it.
If you have drinking problems, I prepare for your son. I got 99 problems, but the meat ain't one. Chili in the west, feel the heat right in my chest. Making mead for the millionth time, gonna suck it down to cloud my mind. Drinking to forget is my kind of fun. 99 problems, but the meat ain't one. If you have drinking problems, I prepare for your son. I got 99 problems, but the meat ain't one. 99 problems, but the meat ain't one.
The full recipe is in the description below, so if you are interested, check that out. Once fermentation is complete, or the desired ABV has been met, I racked the mead, which basically means siphoning out the good stuff, leaving the chunks and the gunk behind. Then I stabilised and cold crashed. I did a whole video on cold crashing and stabilisation. Check that out because it is critical if you plan to age or bottle, store your wine or mead for a long period of time. Remember, fermentation needs to stop, otherwise you're going to build up gas. It doesn't matter, I talked all about it in that video, so check that out once you're done here. After about 48 hours, I racked again, and as you can see, the cold crashing with the stabilization left a whole bunch of dormant yeast and little sediment and chunks and cunts and gunk on the bottom there, so I want to leave that behind. This will help clarify the mead, clear it up a little bit, and get rid of some of that unwanted yeast and sediment and all that stuff that's not very texturally fun, it's not very flavorful, and it just makes your mead look a lot nicer. Once that was done, I back-sweetened, adding a little bit more honey, because I like spicy mead to be a little bit sweeter. Typically when I make meads, I like them a little bit more dry, a little bit earthy. This is quite earthy because of the chili, but sweet and spice is very nice. Now ideally you'd want to age that for like at least 6 months to a year. This will help the flavors marry and clarify the mead and just all round make the mead a little bit better. So that's what we're going to do. This is about a month or two old post fermentation, so for the sake of this video I'm going to give it a little bit of a taste anyway, just for the camera, but ideally you'd want to wait a bit longer, so perhaps in the future I will come back and we can taste it once it's at its proper stage. Come on, bitch. Yes, yes. I'm gonna drop it. Okay, that's quite the taste. Stabilised, it's been cold crashed, it's been racked twice, and look, most of the time, like cloudy wine, cloudy things, cloudy ciders, cloudy mead, you know, traditionally it would have all been cloudy. It's only like us modern day snobs that really want to be able to see through or like have that real nice mead. And it is beautiful when you have a nice, clean mead. This will always remain a little bit cloudy because I didn't put any pectinase in there or anything like that. There's lots of chili bits and stuff in there, so it'll get clearer with age. But ultimately, that's clear enough for me. That's like a nice cloudy mead. It is super young though, so perhaps in a few months' time I'll rack it again to clear it up. But anyway, let's give it a taste. Oh, so, wow, you can smell the chili, obviously. Definitely earth. It smells like young fruit. There are a few tricks around this. Some people say to remove the seeds because they can be quite bitter. This is the same when making chili sauce. I don't remove the seeds in my sauces. Some people say to soak it in ethanol, like a high alcohol for a while, like a vodka. I did that as well, so I might make another chili mead because I do have some stuff soaking over there. That'll suck out some of the chilliness and maybe some of that vegetal sort of flavors. Other people say to dry out the fruit first, then put it in the mead. I think ultimately, well, let's taste it first and then I'll fucking, because I'm a bit of a waffler, aren't I? Whoa. Yeah. That's actually really delicious, but probably too spicy, I'd say, for the average punter. and me, apparently. Okay, so my initial thoughts are, it's young. It's very spicy. If I blended this with just a standard traditional mead, I reckon that would be absolutely awesome, which brings me to the point of how I think you should make a proper spicy mead. No doubt, this is delicious. This is going to get better with age, but I think one of the best things you can do is make a mead however you want, a traditional mead or just a mead with a little bit of fruit in there, then add some sort of, make a spicy mead like this or a tincture, so something spicy, and then you, as if you would back-sweeten, you would add your botanicals, your spice, your chili to it afterwards. That way you can gauge the spiciness. Or if you wanted to actually have the fruitiness of the chili, like I said, perhaps extract some of that capsaicin, the chili, the heating element out first, then make your mead. There's lots of different ways. I've made chili meads before. This one was a little bit more of an experiment, but you know what? That totally works. And in 6 months' time, that's going to age perfectly. And when I blend this with one of my other meads, baby. I've been Jacob. You've been watching Choo. This is Chili Mead. I love you guys very much. Thanks for watching. If you have any thoughts, comments, or whatever, if you like this video, obviously click like, share it around. At the time of recording, we just hit 5,000 subs, even though I only get a couple hundred views per video, so I'm not really sure how that works. But anyway, it's really awesome that you guys are helping my channel grow. I do this for fun. I have a full-time job. This is just for a lot of fun. So if you did like this, jump onto my website and maybe buy a bottle of hot sauce. It's a great way to contribute to the channel and you get something back. And you're not just chucking money at me. But the best thing you can do is just keep watching, hit subscribe, share this video around, leave a comment, do all that crappy YouTube stuff that I have to keep plugging in every fucking time I do this, and jump on our website if you're in the SA area, because I do a lot of hot sauce tastings all around South Australia. We've got heaps coming up for the rest of the year, entering summer. So if you want to come say good day to me in person, you can. Go on our website, go to the calendar, track me down, give me a high five, and yeah, see you in the next one. Hey, you're not allowed to lick your pussy on the couch. That's the rules. Okay, your bed. You lick pussy on bed. Couch is chill time. Fucking look. Just can't help herself. Has to get right up in there all the time. Okay, no pussy licking. It's fucking disgusting. Kids these days.